What's up, guys, and welcome back to Footy, gents. Glad to be here with you guys today. Today we have a good one. We are going to be doing our league predictions, and with me today I have Eris. Welcome back, buddy.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good. And I also have two people who are joining us on their first episode, Evie and Mahan. First episode, you guys excited?
Pretty excited, yeah.
Okay. So previously we did record the EPL predictions, the full table. This one's going to be a little bit different. We are going to be doing the rest of the top four. So La Liga, Serie A, Liga, and Bundesliga. We're only going to be doing a top 6 predictions. So we're going to be starting off with Serie A, okay? First team that we have in Serie A is Juventus.
I can start off. I had Juve in third.
Okay.
Now, hear me out. They did completely rejuvenate the midfield. They filled a lot of holes there. They got a good defensive mid. They got good. Thuram is a very good offensive player, and Coop Myers can fill both the box to box role and everything, connecting defense and attack. Huge problem with the offense. Again, if you look at Mota's system in the past, with Bologna, had a very mobile 9. So Xerxes would always drop back and make a lot of plays, almost in a center attacking role. Again, Vlahovic, I don't think he has that mobility in him. Looks like they're interested in Gonzalez from Fiorentina, so I think he might be a good addition. But again, you got a new coach, new system. It might take them a while to integrate. It's going to be a big learning curve for them. I expect them to be stronger next year, but this year, I think I see them in third place.
On, where did you have Juve?
I actually agree. I got them in third place too. It still feels like an incomplete project. They have to, they got to develop. They only got, you said Weah and Yildiz on the wings. It doesn't seem like Mota has everything he needs yet to be a Scudetto contender.
Eris, what did you have Juve?
So I think I'm actually the odd man out because I had them in second. Obviously, it is going to take time for them to gel with the new coach, with Thiago Motta. I do have faith in him, though. I know you guys say in their attacking options they do lack, but I think Vlahovic can still do something. I'm not expecting him to pop off with 30 goals, but I feel like he'll do enough. But I don't know. I don't think I can put them any further up.
Yeah, I had them second, same as theirs. I have complete faith in Thiago Motta, to be honest, and they're getting Coop Miners as well, Thuram. I think the midfield is pretty decent that they have right now. Fullbacks would be an area where they need to improve on, in my opinion, but I think Vlahovic is going to be good this season. And I also think it could be a breakout season for Yildiz as well. But yeah, I just have him second right now. I just like overall the transfers that they've done. We are going to be continuing now with, did anyone have Atalanta in their top 6?
All right. I actually have the utmost faith in Atalanta, so I put them in fourth. I think they're going to get UCL again. Gasperini as a coach has just been amazing. He's done wonders with them winning the Europa League and everything. They still kept their core attackers in Lookman, Scamacca. They added Retegui, right, as an attacking option. So I think they're going to do well. I don't think they're going to challenge the top 3 that I have, but I feel like they will definitely do better than... Actually, I don't want to get ahead of myself because we are going to be talking about other teams, but I think they're going to do better than the teams that I have in 5th and 6th, challenging for that Europa League spots.
It's a good shout.
I had them in 4th as well. Big question there is the defense, though, because I is it Scalvini, I think, the young center back?
Yeah.
But I think I just don't know who's going to partner him in the back because...
He's injured, though, eh? ACL.
Yeah, ACL.
Oh, so he's not even playing this season, yeah. So.
Scamacca is ACL too, I think.
Yeah, and I also think Lookman's going to PSG. Gasperini, I don't know what he does. He got them all on steroids or something, bro, because these guys are always overperforming. So
the other thing I think with Atalanta too is it feels like they've been waiting for a trophy, waiting for something to happen, and they got that last season. So the question of motivation, I think, is important too, to see if they still want it, if Gasperini still wants it, because they got kind of what they came here. The whole project sort of came to fruition in a way. So we got to see how...
Yeah.
In that sense, they performed through the season. I actually don't have them in my top 6.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. I had them in 5th. They might lose Lookman, Coop Miners as well. Scalvini, like I said, he's injured for a while. So, I don't know. I just think it might be a tough season for them. One place drop off for me. I think that's pretty reasonable. But honestly, even 5th for Atalanta is decent.
But that brings up a good point, too. I'm expecting a big season from Zaniolo and Samardžić.
Next on the list, we have Napoli. FYI for the viewers, the first week of this new season is basically almost done. So it's a Sunday when we're recording right now. So we just saw them get pumped by Verona.
So we have a little bit of information, but I haven't changed any of my predictions. I was I'm not gonna play with them.
Same.
So I still have them in 5th. I trust Conte, but I'm wondering if they're gonna lose Osimhen and then bring in Lukaku still. That's still up in the air. So that could make or break him, honestly. If they lose Osimhen and
So what position did you have him in? Fifth, you said?
in fifth, yeah. Missing
Mahan,
that
what did you
midfield.
have him? Did you
I
even
actually
have
him
them?
fourth. Yeah, I
Okay.
got him fourth. It really depends. It depends on how Conte and ADL get along. I think that's going to be huge in determining how this whole marriage goes. I've heard rumors of Conte not being happy with either of their goalkeepers, so that's going to be an issue for him. The whole Osimhen Lukaku thing is going to be an issue. The team is 2 to 3 signings away, like good signings, Conte-style signings, from being definite top 4 contenders. But I can't see them winning in this year or next year. Even though I feel like Conte plus the no Europe factor is always a good sign, because he hates Europe and he always crushes the league first or second season he's there. But yeah, I think they still have a couple of signings to go before I can put them any higher than 4.
Evie, where'd you have him?
I had them fifth. So they had like a really horrible season last year.
Yeah.
Their team got worse this year. Okay, we got to consider like Osimhen's leaving. Zielinski left. Horrible locker room chemistry with Conte, just looking like he doesn't want to be there at all. I like to pick up a Buongiorno. Their starting center backs were Ramani and Juan Jesus. Like again, Juan Jesus should not be anywhere near that team, let alone starting. I just don't think it's good enough. Neres again, not really that exciting of a pickup for me. Yeah.
Fair.
I could see like Atalanta more likely to take that 4th spot.
So I apparently have them the highest. I actually have them third.
Damn,
Yep.
that's crazy. I need to hear why now.
It's
Conte
just,
factor?
I don't know, just Conte factor in Italy, bro. That's the thing. Like, he has a lot of experience in Italy. Buongiorno is a good pickup. They got a young CB, Marin from Real Madrid as well. He's very aggressive. Spinazzola they got for free as well. Lukaku, most likely they're going to get him. And Lukaku has proven to be a goal scorer in Serie A under Conte. They're going to sell Osimhen most likely. And I do think that with that money, they are going to buy at least 1 or 2 other players as well. And they're not in Europe. I don't know. A big factor for me is probably just Conte. It was very debatable for me between putting them 3rd or 4th. I feel like I know majority of our top 3 what they're gonna be, so I just kind of wanted to switch it up a little bit as well. Just add Napoli 3rd in there.
My prediction is that I think he might get fired by like December. Like that's
wow.
I think they'll be bottom 10, like 12th place or something like that in December, and then they'll pick it up again with a new coach.
Jeez, you think he's gonna beef with the board as well, like at Spurs and shit?
Dude, it's already like they like that.
I still remember the press conference Conte had at Spurs before they sacked him or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, those memes are gonna be good. Those press conference memes are gonna be
That was
good.
legendary, bro. You have AC Milan. Evie, I'll let you start. That's your club. Where do you have AC
Okay,
Milan?
guys, hear me out.
Oh no,
First place, okay?
he has him first.
First place. Listen, we filled every important hole in the transfer window. We got a new system, new coach. Give some time for the squad to be integrated. I promise you, first place, bro.
You were 5 minutes away. You were 5 minutes away from losing to Torino 2-0.
Bro, I was a different person, man. That was a different time, okay? Listen, that first game, you got to consider we didn't have any of the new signings. We had Ghent playing striker. We had
that was actually playing striker, but why was Morata not starting? That's what I wanted to know.
I don't understand. Like, he seemed fit enough for me. Like, and he got the divorce out the way too. So he's gonna have that fire in him. Give me another week, and you'll see why my prediction makes sense. Okay.
I had them in 3rd. Unfortunately. But I do like the signing of Fofana. No, it's all good. Listen, I do love the signing of Fofana because I think him and Benacer can play well in a double pivot in like a 4-2-3-1. I think that would be such a like.
Where would you have Reinders?
That's the issue though. You'd have to, if you do play a double pivot, you'd have to drop him. Because up top, you have a layout.
3 midfielders might be better. Or him playing the cam even.
And pushing Pulisic like outright, then maybe.
Yeah, forget Chukwueze.
Fair enough. That's another thing. I can see that playing. I do like the signing of Morata. I think he'll be good for the hold-up play where he'll be able to like release Leao and Pulisic. Fonseca is the new coach. I rate him. His time in the Ligue was class as well. So 3rd is what I'm thinking. Again, interchangeable with Juve. Very interchangeable. But right now I'm sticking with my original prediction of Juve 2nd, AC Milan 3rd.
Fonseca and Lille, he had like the best defense in the league, right?
He had a very strong
defense.
defense.
He had like goal scored after December or something like that. The center backs are still shaky. Now Chow, listen, he's got to go. I think Tomori.
Pavlovic came in or no?
Yeah, let's see how Pavlovic does.
I'm hoping we can get back to like prime Kalulu, man. Like that's something I want.
I heard Kalulu to Juve.
I'm hoping to leave Kalulu.
He's out the plans. Yeah,
I need you. Kalulu is done, bro. He had a 1-2 season or whatever. Like, let's not bring up Kalulu anymore, bro.
Listen, Kalulu's a fan favorite, though. I love Kalulu.
He's going to Juve as well, bro. How's he a fan favorite now?
I want the best for him. That's the thing. He's not going to get game time here. He's probably going to get game time in Juve. At his best, best, he's amazing. His injury record too, I don't know. Like it's worth him off for like 20 mil
Okay.
now.
Where did the Interisti place AC Milan?
I actually have them as
Yeah.
second. I
Okay.
actually think it'll be a dogfight this year at the top. They're definitely improving. They're headed in the right direction. Fonseca's a great appointment. I think it suits the club well. I think Fofana was great. That was an area, as Eddie was saying, that they're definitely missing. And the team is stable. I think the big question with Milan is going to be how Leao does, because I remember when they destroyed the league, he was MVP. He was a game changer. And then I think last season there was a little bit of a drop off in his form. He still assisted well. He was still good, but he wasn't peak Leao. If he really shows up this season, I think it's going to be closer than people think. It's not going to be a 20-point, 19-point runaway like last season was for Inter.
Interesting. I had Milan fourth. Like I said,
Nah, it's some hater shit.
it's not hater, but like I said, I just wanted to give a shout to Napoli and the Conte effect. I do rate Milan. I think they have improved. I'll be honest, like I haven't watched a lot of Lille last season, so I don't know what the new manager is bringing as well. I do love the midfield. I think Milan is solid, but it would be the manager factor for me, because I know what Conte can do in Serie A, and I don't know exactly what your current manager can. That's why I placed them in that way. Next on the list, we have Inter. I'll start off with the Interisti.
I got them first. We're one of the few teams in the top that have stability over the past few seasons. We still got Inzaghi. We got the same starting 11 as last season.
Yeah.
I think the ownership change helped a little bit, because Inter fans are used to seeing one or two big players leave every transfer window. We didn't have to sell anyone this summer. We have the solid starting 11 that we had last season. Backed it up with Taremi, who's a proven goal scorer. We got Zielinski. So I think we strengthened what we need to strengthen. Our right wing back's a little bit of weakness, because Dumfries is 1 foot out, 1 foot in. That could be a little bit of an issue for us. There's still a bit of a gap between Inter and the rest of the league. I'm confident we're going to take it this year again.
Fair.
I also had them first. The reason is obviously they managed to keep a bunch of their core players, as you mentioned, and they added a bunch of squad rotation players like Zielinski, like Taremi. So these are good players to have, especially for those cup competitions like the Coppa Italia and all that, or when you have like an off game. Some of my favorite like players that they do have include Bastoni. He's one of my favorite center backs. I do really rate him. They still have Barella in midfield, and Lautaro's a proven goal scorer. He's bagged 20 a season for a while now, or 20 plus a season for a while now. I don't think that's going to be stopping. So I have them in first. I think Inzaghi's going to do a great job, and they're going to win back-to-back titles.
So Evie, you have it in second, I guess, because Milan first?
Yeah, just to also like add some like randomness to it too. Obviously, they're the team to beat, but I'm also thinking like, it's been a while since it's been the same team winning Serie A 2 years in a row, right? And maybe like some teams will find ways to figure Inter out, like Genoa did, I think. Some players are getting older, like Darmian, Acerbi. I don't know if like they're the best players to like continue with.
Fry too.
Yeah,
Mkhitaryan
exactly. Like
and Çalhanoğlu as well. Like,
Mkhitaryan also, but yeah, maybe just wishful thinking for them to finish second. But yeah, also I think they might focus more on Champions League too, just because I think they might have a good shout in that too. So if Champions League causes some trouble for them, then they might focus less on the league.
Yeah, I had them first. Basically everything that you guys just said. I just think it's still the team to beat. Overall, I like Inzaghi. I like his tactics as well. Not much to be said in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be 19 points. I think it was last season, right? I don't think it's going to be 19, but I do think that they still win the league like comfortably. Maybe like in like a 7 points type of thing.
7 to 9 point.
Yeah,
range.
but not like 19 or anything crazy like that. Next that we have, did anyone place Roma in their top 6?
I had them 6th. Didn't they sign the striker from Girona? What's the name? Yeah. So I feel like that's gonna help out, for goals. The one thing I am worried about is if they do lose Dybala, that could impact their rating.
Yeah.
But I had them in 6th. Nothing too crazy. I just couldn't see myself putting them above any of the like top 4 that we mentioned. And even with Napoli, I was like you said, the Conte factor, I was kind of giving that. That's why I put them in 5th.
Okay. Mahan.
I had him as 5th, but I just changed my mind based on what you guys said. I'm gonna put him down to 6th.
Okay.
All right. I think they had a good window, but I think the team I have in 6th has the team I'm gonna put in 5th has a better coach than they do, so I think that's gonna make a difference.
Fair enough. Evie, where did you have Roma?
I had them 5th. I like their pickups, like Sule, like the young winger. Lafille, I think, is also really underrated. Defense still kind of weak and consistent. They don't have much depth either. Like Cristante, not really. Pellegrini's been super inconsistent. I like Angelino as well. They did pick him up for left back, but again, like just a lot of questions. And I think like you're losing your most important player, Dybala, which like was a huge difference maker last year. So I see them in 5th, but they could be surprising. I expect a lot of like fun games from them.
I had them in 6th. They might be losing Dybala. Lukaku is no longer there. They did get Dovbyk from Girona as well. I'm curious to see how that's going to work. Like, I don't know how many goals he's going to get. I do think there are a few holes in the team overall, so I can't place them any higher than the other 5 teams that I have on the list. Is there any team that I didn't mention that you guys have in your top 6?
I'm gonna put Bologna as 5th.
Okay.
I think they're gonna surprise. I know they lost Motte, Motta, they lost Calafiori, they lost Xerxes, but I still think they have a good, solid squad from last year. They were really stable in defense, and I like the coach they picked up, Italiano. He took Fiorentina back-to-back European finals. I just think they still have enough, and the drop-off isn't going to be as big as people think it is.
I want to kind of argue that the reason I didn't have them anywhere in my top 6 is because of European football. I feel like that's going to take a toll, and they don't have the insane squad depth to handle it, which is why I didn't have them there.
So let's just get to top goal scorer.
Just has a league on lockdown. But I expect a lot more goals from Leao. I think I could see him finishing second.
I also had Lautaro. I don't think he's going to be pipped to the top.
And I'm assuming, Mahan, you have Lautaro as well? Same. Yeah. Okay. Clean sweep then. Yeah, not much to be said. I do think Lukaku might have a good season with Napoli if he joins.
That was another factor, but obviously since it isn't finalized, I was like, I don't want to put a shout in there.
I still think Lautaro, even if Lukaku joins, I think Lautaro will be top goal scorer. Top assister.
Debating between go with Thuram again, because I think Inter's going to get a lot of goals this season, and just the volume of the goals is going to give him enough assists to lead this year.
Eris, who do you have?
I actually had Pulisic, which is a surprise, maybe. I don't know. Last year he did pretty decently for his first season. I think he will do well, especially if he's playing out on the right as opposed to a cam role. I do think the link-up play, as we mentioned, with Morata will be helpful for him getting in behind. I feel like he could, lay off some goals to Leao. So I feel like he'll definitely be top assister for me.
Evie?
I was thinking Leao or Pulisic as well, just because Pulisic in that new role, he's probably going to link up more with the offense. I could see De Ketelaere in Atalanta probably get a lot of assists as well too.
I had Leao. For me, it was between Leao and Kvaradona. I think Kvaradona is going to have a good season as well. But yeah, Leao, I just think he's probably the best left winger in that league. I would say 15 assists or something like that, in my opinion.
Barella also a surprising leader in assists too, which I expect him to get a few this year also.
With that, we are done with Serie A. Now we are going to be entering into Eris's league. A lot of people would consider this the shittiest league, me
That's fine.
included.
It is the 5th, so to be fair, it technically is by UEFA coefficients.
Liga, our top 6. I will start off with Monaco. Eris, I'll let you kickstart at Monaco. Where did you have them?
So again, I made these rankings before we saw this weekend. I had Monaco in second, ahead of some other teams that we're going to get into. The biggest issue with Monaco is they did lose Ben Yedder. Replacing that's going to be hard, but I do have faith in Mbolo and Florian Balogun. They still kept Alexander Golovin. He's going to be a key player in that attacking mid role. Obviously, since I made these predictions before, we obviously didn't know that Fofana had left. Fofana leaving is going to be a huge impact. My number 2 and number 3 are interchangeable. For right now, I'm gonna stick with my guns, and I think they're going to finish in second.
I had them in 4th, actually. Last season, they finished off second. I do think Ben Yedder is a big loss for them, and I also think Fofana is a big loss for them as well. It's going to be interesting. For me, it was between them and the other team that I have between 3rd and 4th, but I just decided to go with 4th just because I think with the teams that I was looking at, I prefer the other 2 ones that I have on top of them in 2nd and 3rd. But Evie, where did you have Monaco?
I had them in 4th as well. Minamino, I think, also would be a key part of that team now.
Mahan, Monaco?
I had them in second too before Fofana leaving, but it could be a little bit subject to change. But I think Balogun needs to step up a little bit. Even though they lose players, they have that unknown element of they could still maintain that level every single season.
Next team we have here is Lille. Me personally, I have them 3rd. Big reason, I think Jonathan David is going to pop off this season unless someone purchases him. But they did lose Lenny Yoro. That is a big miss for them. But I do still think that they have overall a good team. And I really like Zegrova as well. Gotta rep my elbow boy. I'll let you, Evie, go. Where did you have Lille?
I had them in 5th. I think before Fonseca, they were not that good of a team. But I think, without him again.
I don't know about that. With Christophe Galtier, they won the league. They whooped our asses. So I don't know about that.
No, I mean, after he left, right? They weren't as good before they got Fonseca, right?
What do you mean? Yeah, they had with Christophe Galtier before Fonseca, they won the league.
So it was directly from Galtier to Fonseca.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, right?
Been, but...
Yeah, so maybe that's
before Fonseca came in.
I thought you meant before, just in general. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Also, I think he played a huge role in Zegrova's development too, because I know he got 12 goals, 10 assists with him. So again, I see them in 5th. I don't like Jonathan David. I don't think
that's our boy, bro.
I'm not Canadian, first of all. So
where do you live?
Yeah, but where do you live?
I live in the moment.
Okay, fair. Mahan, where do you have
him? I got him 4th. I remember Inter was linked to Jonathan David, so I was looking him up back in the day. I like him. I think he could perform out this season. So I got him in fourth too.
So I also had them in fourth. The reason I had them in fourth is, like you mentioned, the loss of Lenny Euro is going to be huge. They finished fourth last year. I think they're going to do it again this year. The reason is Bruno Genesio. As a coach, absolutely class. If you remember his time in Lyon from, I think it was like 2015 to like 2019, 2020, that man was class. He worked wonders with that team. He gave Guardiola a struggle, if you remember, back in the Champions League group stages with that Lyon squad.
Yeah.
So he's a class manager, and I think he'll be just good enough to keep them in that fourth spot, which is not Champions League qualification directly, but it's into like the qualification phase. And then they did sign Ethan Mbappe on a free, so hopefully we get to see some, little young blood running out.
That brother ain't doing shit, bro.
No, that's what I mean. He hasn't played much at PSG.
That's a nepotism buy, bro.
It's a nepotism buy, but I'm just saying. I mean, it was a free
They're
transfer.
trying to get
but
Mbappe when he's 35. That's what they're trying
I'm
to
just
do.
saying. I'm just saying. We don't know what he's going to be capable of, right? Like, hopefully we see something out of him. But I think Jonathan David is going to be the main reason why I had them in fourth and not dropping off significantly.
Mbappe at 35. Fair enough. Marseille next. Where do you guys have Marseille?
I think it's going to be super tight with PSG, but De Zerbi is a very exciting coach to watch.
Mm-hmm.
His system will be a lot more forgiving in this league. Okay, I expect a lot of high scoring games. Listen, I think it's going to be
first?
super
Oh,
close.
wow.
I think it's
We
going
do
to be
have beef, damn.
PSG.
I don't think that's a crazy shout because I'll
That
be
is,
honest.
we saw game week 1. They pummeled
Yeah.
Brest 5-1.
Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
was-
I had them before that too.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I was
yeah.
trying to think of a different prediction as well.
Mahan, Marseille, where did you have him?
Third, the Zerbi factor. I like the signing of Greenwood. I think he could bring a lot to that team. I know they got Højbjerg from Spurs, I think.
Kone
They got
too, Ismail Kone.
They got
Carboni
Kone,
from
the
Inter.
Canadian. They got Rui. I used to like him a lot, especially when he was in La Liga. Even at Ajax, I liked him. Fair. Yeah, Ayers, where did you have him?
I also had them at third. As you guys mentioned, the De Zerbi factor, I really think he's going to do really well in this league. The signing of Greenwood, I know, terrible person from the other things, but as a footballer, signing-wise, I think he's going to do really well, and he did well in the first games. They do have a really young squad with a couple of veterans in the role. Like, I know they brought in Højbjerg. They've got, I think it's Vertu and Kondogbia as midfielders who are experienced. The key to success for them are the wing play between Greenwood and Luis Enrique.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I could see them going up to second, but I'm going to stick with my original predictions. I don't want to change them and cheat. The reason I didn't initially have them in second is because to me they're just so inconsistent. So I'm hoping obviously De Zerbi can do something about that, but I don't see them winning. I do see them.
I got them second, but I was debating potentially putting them first. I like their team overall. I like the trio that they have up top with Enrique, Greenwood, and Wahi. I like what I see. I like De Zerbi. I always rated De Zerbi when he was at Brighton, even though he went through a rough patch towards the end. Let's continue with Lyon. Where do we have Lyon?
I had them in sixth. Look, they're a solid team. They've got Laka still going strong. I know he's old, but he's still reliable for goals. They did make that signing. I don't know how to say his name, so I'm just going to say the first four. That's Mika something. He's the Georgian.
Yeah.
That he scored the 3 goals, had 1 assist in the Euros. He played really well. One person, actually 2 people, that I think are going to come out of their shell. Ryan Cherky. I think he's going to have that breakout season soon because you can't be a wonder boy forever. You're going to have to step up and do something. And then Maxence Cacare in midfield. I feel like he's going to be a decent shout as well. Looking at their squad, I just don't see them getting higher than 6th.
Where did you have Lyon, Envy?
I had them third.
Oh,
Again,
wow.
I like the new signings. I think Lyon has always been at the top. I think they're going to get back there as well. Pretty much what Eris said, really. That league is going to be pretty close in terms of anything after second place. So I like Lyon as third.
And Mahan, did you have Lyon in your top 6?
Sixth. Same thing as what Eris was saying. They have Laka. They have proven goal scorer up top. But just the gap between them and the teams ahead of them, I still think there's no way to put them higher for me.
I had them at 5th. Last year, they finished at 6th. They've had a couple of good signings, like the Mets striker and Benrahma, but overall, I just don't think I can place them ahead of the other teams that I have there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, was it last season that they started off terribly?
Yeah.
And then they finished, sixth. Yeah, so 5th, pretty respectable compared to where they started off last season. PSG. I know Evie doesn't have them first because he had Marseille. You had PSG second then, right?
No, I actually have them 6th. No, I'm joking.
Dude, damn, I was gonna say, bro, we gonna fight. I'm changing Milan. I'm putting them back to
No, I think it's gonna be really close. Maybe a 2-3 point difference. So that just because they're going through a transitory period, this is the first time they haven't had a star player leading the way, right? So obviously, I think this might be better for them long term because now they won't try and force their style of play to accommodate stars like Neymar or Mbappe. But I'm also super excited by their mid, which I think is probably going to be one of the best in the world world. You got like Vitinha, João Neves, Desiree Doué, and don't even forget like Zaire Emery, like Fabian Ruiz. Like they just from like the way they play, I'm expecting a lot of high possession games. They don't have that like difference maker as well, which is why I expect them to like kind of like choke in like crucial moments. Again, I'm just trying to be different, so I do see something different with Marseille this year.
Eris, Mahan, did you guys have them at first?
So I had them winning.
Yeah,
And look, it makes valid points in the sense that now we don't have that like superstar name where we can be more of a cohesive unit. If anything, for the long term, I do think I agree with you. It's probably a better thing. Short term, it could cause some issues. It could cause us to slip. Gonzalo Ramos, who was my shout to be the first, the starting striker, got injured. He might be out for 3 months. So now we have to stick with Colo up top, and I despise that man. That man, just the amount of chances he misses, just it makes me want to lose my mind.
I love that man.
Yeah, I know you love that man. Anyways, so if we can sign an Osimhen for that striker role, I feel like it would be a guaranteed win in my opinion. It's not going to be a walk in the park this season. I feel like with how Marseille and Monaco are trending, even Lille, I think it is going to be a lot closer. I still have them winning. Barcola is going to be amazing out on the left. The signings of Doué and Neves in midfield is going to be amazing to link up, especially with like the players like Vitinha and Zaire. And we do still have our core in terms of defense with Marquinhos, Skriniar, and all of them. And then we did sign Pacho from Frankfurt, which again,
from Frankfurt, yeah.
I haven't watched Frankfurt too much, so I'm not too familiar with him. I can't be like, oh, he's going to be amazing, because I don't know. The one thing that I am scared of is Donnarumma and net. Whenever he plays with Italy, he does amazing. When he does play in Liga, he's all right. When he plays I know we're not talking about the UCL, but when he plays in the UCL, it's like he's never kicked the ball in his life or never picked up a ball in his life. It just scares me. If we do end up slipping up, it will be through mistakes by Donnarumma and Colo. Who do
you think is going to carry the team goal-wise, if anyone? Or do you think it's going to be spread?
That's the thing. I think it's going to be shared at this point, right? Between Barcola, once Ramos comes back after the injury, it's definitely not going to be Colo. I feel like Dembele will need to step up. Yeah,
Dembele's headers.
Dembele's headers, right? That's what I mean. So it's gonna be have to shared load. It can't be just one player at this point.
I had him first as well for every single reason that you guys just mentioned. I do think, like you said, it's going to be closer than usual with Marseille there. You probably have the best one of the best young midfields in the world with probably Barcelona and Madrid. Zaire Emery, João Neves, Vitinha, Doué, and then you also got Moscardo. A lot of people forget. Yeah, exciting for you guys, especially with Luis Enrique, with that young talent. He can probably do a lot.
I really hope Luis Enrique is given time to develop the squad, and it's not like previous coaches where it's like 1 or 2 seasons and then they're out. After the Champions League final with Tuchel, I think it was still unjust to kind of get rid of it. Yeah. So I really hope that the board has kind of like learned from 10, 12 years of failure to actually give him some time and hopefully build this team, because I think we could actually be a proper threat in Europe, at least in the next 2 or 3 years, if we get the proper development for those players.
Yeah, sure. I think also because you had those stars, like those high profile players, there was that expectation where like if you don't have anything this year, then obviously your coach is going to go, which is why I think like without the stars too, you get more like time and like to build a certain like style of play and a system for these players. So I think that might be beneficial too.
Who is that last team that I haven't mentioned in each of your lists? For me personally, I have Rennes at 6. Rennes, however you pronounce it in Francais or whatever. I had them at 6. What's the team that you guys have that I did not mention in your top 6?
So I also had Rennes, but I had them at 5th. The loss of Doué is going to be kind of critical-ish for them, but I still trust their attack. The one thing that is holding them back, they do have a very young back line. I think everyone outside of, there was one player that they had was 24 or under.
Mahan, who did you have? Sorry.
I have Rennes.
Wait, did you say Lens or Rennes? Who did you have in your top 6 last team that you had that I didn't mention?
I had Lens, actually, but
that's a decent shout.
That is a good show.
I think they're actually selling a few players now. They're selling Danso. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do there.
Where did you have them? What place? 6?
I had them in 6th, yeah.
Quickly, top goal scorer. Who do you guys have?
So it depends. Now I'm thinking if you guys get Osimhen, then that's probably going to be the top scorer. But probably Gonzalo Ramos, if he is playing now. And top assister, probably Barcola.
Eris, who do you have?
So top goal scorer, I had Jonathan David. I think he's going to be one of the main reasons Lille get in the top 4. And then top assister, I also had Barcola. I feel like he's just going to be providing some through balls, some nice crosses as well. Please, dear God, let Colo score some, because otherwise we are messed up.
And Mahan, who did you have goal scorer and assist?
Goal scorer, I had Jonathan David. I think he'll have a good season. I just like the guy. Top assister was actually Dembele.
Fair.
Not a bad shout. Like, I mean, he was tied for top assister last season, right? It was him and 2 others at 8. So
for me, top goal scorer, Jonathan David as well. Like I said, I think he's going to have a great season. And then assist, it was between Barcola and Dembele for me. I ended up with Dembele. Yeah.
That's a boy, eh?
No. I don't like him at all. I don't like him that way at all. Let us continue with Bundesliga. We will start off with Borussia Dortmund. Evie, what did you have, Dortmund?
I had Dortmund in fifth, actually. I just don't like Nuri Sahin as the coach. It looks like their attack is kind of a mess as well. I mean, I like Gurasi, though, but could be a one-season wonder, right, with Stuttgart and that system that was in place for him.
Fair.
But
Mahan, did you have Dortmund higher or lower?
I have him fourth. I also don't have faith in Nuri Sahin too much. They lost Hummels, they lost Royce. I know Royce wasn't getting too much playing time anyways, but I think Hummels was huge for them last season. Losing him is going to take a toll. And I know they pillaged a bunch of teams, so they got a bunch of new players in. So there's an unknown factor there too for them to see how they do.
Fair.
I also had them in fourth, and I thought I was being harsh with that, but I mean, I guess I'm being a little bit more fair. I don't trust Sahin. Fulkrug left. Don't see them challenging my top three. I feel like my top three are kind of head and shoulders above them, but I feel like they're going to get that UCL spot.
I actually had them third. Did lose a few players. Fulkrug, Madsen, Royce, Hummels, Sancho. Now that I'm reading it, I'm kind of doubting.
The whole
Now,
squad.
now I'm kind of doubting if I should have had them third. Pascal Grosch, Koto. I think they'll have a decent season, even though I don't trust Shine as well that much. For me, it was between third or fourth with them. I just opted to go for third.
Hey, anything's possible. Just I feel like because he's so unproven, I can't justify putting them higher than fourth.
I like Terzic, honestly. I don't know why they got rid of him so quick.
Yeah, that didn't make sense either. I don't know.
Where'd you guys have Leipzig?
I had Leipzig third. I think they have a solid squad. They kept Xavi Simmons. They have Benjamin Šeško. They kept them. I know they lost Olmo to your boys, but I know he was injury prone anyways. Big player for them, but I still think they have a really solid squad. And I see them being more stable compared to Dortmund last year. So I have them third.
I had them third, but I think the race between 1, 2nd, and 3rd will be very, very close. So I could see Leipzig even like winning the league, honestly. I really like their young talent, and I think Sesko will have a breakout year this year. Also, they got Xavi Simmons now, which I think will take over more of that role that Olmo had. I think they have Lukeba, right? So, like, as a ball-playing center back, I really like his game.
Yeah, he's good.
So I also had them third, and again, like Avi said, I think top three is kind of, very close. I don't think we're going to see them winning, but I think it is a possibility. Getting Xavi Simmons back on loan again from PSG, I think he's going to be critical to their success. Benjamin Sesko and Openda. As you said, I think Sesko's going to have a breakout season. That partnership with Openda, with Xavi Simmons, that trio is just something else, and that's why I had to put them above Dortmund. Dortmund have like Karim Adeyemi and all that, but it's just not good enough, in my opinion, to compete with the Sesko, Openda, Xavi Simmons trio that they at Leipzig have, and I have them solidly in third.
Fair. I had them fourth. It was between Dortmund and Leipzig. Now that I'm looking at it, I wish I could change them around, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with them at fourth and Borussia at third. They were able to keep Xavi Simmons, Šeško, Lukeba. They have a good team overall. And they also got Nusa as well from
that was
Belgium.
Bruges, right? I really like him as well, too.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm going to keep him at four, but I wish I could change him at three.
Before we move on, I was just looking because I was just checking Marco Rose out. He's improved every single club he's been at, like in the Bundesliga. From Mönchengladbach, the 2 years he was there, he averaged 1.61 points per game. At Dortmund, 1.85. He was only there for a season. But then at Leipzig, he's averaging over 2 points per game in the 2 seasons he's been there. So I feel like if he continues that trajectory, this team will definitely be challenging for a title.
Alrighty, next, Bayer Leverkusen.
I had them in second, unfortunately, but they did have some great signings in Terrier and Valenciennes or whatever from Rennes. They did maintain a bunch of their core players, Florian Wirtz. You know how many years I've talked to you about Grimaldo. Like I wanted him at left back at PSG years ago. They still managed to keep Xabi in for another year. I feel like their core stuck. They added a couple new signings. They're going to push Bayern all the way to the end, and I think Bayern is just going to pip them. So I have them in second right now.
Fair. Evie, Leverkusen.
I had them first.
Oh, wow.
Now, I think they kept the same team. They added like Alex Garcia as well too, which I think I also really like. They got a lot of underrated players, man. Like again, like the hype is there. Xabi Alonso is a great coach. Now, the only reason I have them first is because I don't like company at all. So I think that will be the difference maker there in terms of the coach and the style of play. At least until Xabi Alonso leaves, I think they're definitely up there.
Mahan, where'd you have them?
I had them second too. As you guys were saying, the core's still there. I just think last season, too many things went their way. The last minute goals, they got a lot of luck. So I think even if they get second and they challenge Bayern and they go far in Europe, I think it'll still be a great season for them. It won't be a failure if they get second.
I had them second as well. They were able to maintain majority of their core. I think maybe they might be losing top, but I don't know as of right now. They got Alex Garcia, like you mentioned, who I think is a baller. Again, the thing is they did have quite a few like last minute ties and winners. So like you can only run out of luck at one point. Bayern. let's just get straight to them then. Eris, Mahan, we all have Bayern first. Evie, you have them
Correct.
second, right?
Just again, company. That's pretty much it. Yeah, but their team is obviously very strong.
The thing is with a team like the Palinha, Elise,
Lille is gonna be so good for them too, man. It
Yeah.
fills such a good gap for them that they need it. But I agree. I think company's gonna hold them back a little bit. I think even with company, they still have what it takes to hit Leverkusen. But I think with a better coach, it'd be even more solid for them to get first. But I don't like company. I don't think it'll be there for too long.
For me, I'm curious to see how company does. Part of me is like maybe in the EPL when you're coming up from the championship, it is quite a big difference.
Yeah.
And like you can only implement your strategy to a certain extent with the amount of talent that you have in hand. So he has a lot of talent at Bayern, so we'll see how he does. But even if he's not the best coach in the world with just the team that they have, I think they win the Bundesliga this year. Anyone have Stuttgart in their top 6?
I had them in 4.
In 6th.
Okay, I had them at 5. Last season, they surprised us. They finished at 2nd. No one expected that. Obviously, they lost a couple of players.
Their main goal scorer, and they got Champions League, so that's why I was like.
But the thing is, like,
friendly and
I know, but I'm
players.
looking at the other teams like in the Bundesliga, and I still don't think anyone can like get ahead of Stuttgart. So that's why I had them in that position. You didn't have them, you said, right?
No,
Stuttgart?
I didn't have them. No, I had two different teams.
Name one of the teams that you had. Them.
Frankfurt, I had them in 5th. Frankfurt's usually been a solid team. They made the Ekitike transfer permanent from PSG. I think he's going to be a key player for them. Last 5 games, he ended with 4 goals, 1 assist. The loss of Pacho, again, assuming he's a decent center back, so loss of him will hurt them, but I don't think it'll be too much. I think they'll finish 5th.
Frankfurt, I had him 6th. Anyone else have Frankfurt? I know Aris just said he had him 5th. Any
5th too.
I actually had Mönchengladbach, but again, like that spot could go up to anyone really.
Were they 6th for you, Mönchengladbach?
6th, yeah.
And then Aris, who's the last team?
Freiburg. Like how have you said, there's always like that one bogey team, but I had them in 6th.
Top goal scorer, I had Harry Kane.
Easy.
Yeah, same as well. But Sesko, 2nd place, I think.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like I feel like he's gonna do well, but I don't think he's gonna have enough to challenge Kane.
Top assister, Aris, who did you have?
Fabi Simmons. I think he's gonna do well with Openda and Sesko, so I think he's gonna rack up some nice assists in there.
Mahan?
Verts, but I think Simmons is a great shout too.
Oh, no, Verts is an amazing shout. But
Evie?
Verts as well, yeah.
I had Verts as well. So 2 ballers, honestly. Without further ado, the best league, La Liga. This is what everyone was waiting for, basically. All right, so we're in La Liga.
Save the best for last.
Atletico Madrid. Evie, where'd you have Atletico Madrid?
I'm gonna say 2nd place. And I'm sorry again.
That's fine. You guys do know that we're at the end of the season we're gonna have another video. Yeah, where we're gonna.
Yeah, I think they just got stronger. I'm really excited to see Alvarez on that team as well. Also, if they get Gallagher, he definitely fits that league quite well with the box-to-box role that he has.
Yeah, it's not
personal.
Outrageous.
They had a really,
you know,
really good transfer window. I think that's the thing that's like making people put him 2nd.
Did you have him 2nd as well?
I had him as 3rd. Yeah, I think there's
You got
good
him as
quality
3rd?
gap. Yeah, I had him 3rd.
We're good. Yeah.
They just play some terrorist ball.
You
man.
know
They
ball.
play
You know
some
ball.
terrorist ball.
Aris,
I had him 2nd. I'm sorry. Listen.
of course.
They brought in Alvarez, which is going to be an amazing signing, I think, especially because Griezmann plays well as a 2nd striker.
Yeah.
Sorloth, again, proven goal scorer for Villarreal last season. They brought in Lenormand from Sociedad. He had a decent Euros. I think that'll help shore up that defense with Jose Maria Jimenez. Obviously, Oblak's still there. Diego Simeone as a coach. I know a lot of people don't like him. I do. I think he's a great coach. So I have him 2nd.
Yeah, I don't know if the rappers with them, Depay.
I don't think so. I don't.
Yeah,
let me
they were
double check
happy.
before
I had them at 3rd. They had a great season. I'm very excited to see Alvarez as well. At the end of the day, I don't think they have the quality necessarily to be going out with the big boys with Barca and Madrid. I think it's going to be interesting, the top 3 race between all 3 of them, but I still think there's a quality gap in terms of depth, especially at Atleti. Next on the list, Girona, the surprise of last season. Did you guys have them in your top 6? And if so, where? No. Evie?
No, I don't have them.
Mahan, did you?
I had him 5th.
I also had them at 5th.
They lost so many players.
Yeah.
They brought in some players. I think they brought in Oriol Romeo, Gil, Van de Beek. They could be good. I don't think the drop-off is going to be as huge as people think it's going to be. I don't think they'll be outside of the top 6, to be honest. I still think they have what it takes, especially with the manager, to get Europe at least.
Yeah, that was the main thing for me as well. I think they're still going to be in the top 6. They did sell quite a few players. They also bought some players. I don't think they're the same caliber as the ones that were sold.
Yeah.
But I do trust Michel. I think he's a very good manager. And with what I saw from the first game as well, that just kind of confirmed in my head that it doesn't really necessarily matter if he has like a little bit like weaker squad, but he can still get the job done with them. So I had him 5th as well. Let's continue with, did anyone have Athletic Bilbao in their top 6? If so, where? Eris, I see you nodding your head.
Yes.
Where did you have them?
I had them in 5th, just missing out on UCL football. The fact they kept Nico Williams is huge for them, and I really do rate Sunset and obviously Inaki Williams. So I think they're going to do a decent job. They're going to definitely give a proper fight to the top four, as well as like the other challengers for the Europa League. So I think like they're going to be giving a proper challenge to the Gironas, to the other squads we're going to get into later. But I had them in fifth. Nico is just a huge. The fact they kept him, huge for them.
Evie, you had them as well?
I had them fourth, yeah.
Fair. And Mahan, you had them in as well. Where'd you have them?
Fourth. There's still a gap between their squad and Girona, who had a fifth. The only factor I think that's going to be important too is I think the Europa League final this year is in Bilbao, so they may push a little bit extra hard in that league, which may affect the domestic form, but remains to be seen.
I had them at 6. They were able to keep Nico. My heart says I hope they get relegated because of it, but no. They got in Jalo, but like Mahan mentioned, Europa League, the final is going to be in San Mamés. I think they might be focusing a little bit on that as well. I have them just finishing 6th because of that. Real Sociedad. Anyone have them in the top 6 or no?
I had them fourth, actually. I was hoping that they would get that Champions League. The loss of Lenormand is going to be huge. Managed to maintain a bunch of their midfield, like in Merino and Zubimendi. Oyarzabal is still there. So I feel like they're just going to be that one team where they're going to be fighting Bilbao for that 4th spot, but I'm just going to give them the little edge there.
Mahan, where'd you have Sociedad?
I had them in 6th. Solid squad.
Fair.
It's really interchangeable for me, 4 to 6, honestly. They're really close.
Yeah, same for me. 4 to 6 is pretty interchangeable. I had them at 4th. They're going to be losing Lenormand and probably Mikel Merino to Arsenal as well. Overall, I think they're going to have a decent team. I hope they keep Kubo as well. If they lose if they lose Kubo, like they might go down in my opinion in terms of ranking. Now we shall continue. Barcelona.
The juicy part.
All right.
We hate Barca over here, man. Praying on their downfall, man. We're praying on their downfall.
Why? Anyway, I don't want to get into it. I can understand PSG man who hasn't forgotten about the remontada yet. I can understand an Interisti as well not liking them. But why the hell does a Milan man not like them?
You guys sold us washed goods. Get back Ronaldinho, bro. He was not that good anyway.
That's crazy.
I'm just playing.
Listen, I had Barca
first.
No. I had Barca second. I'll be honest with you.
If you said first, I was gonna drop off this.
No. I had Barca second. Despite people thinking I'm a delusional Barca fan, I don't believe that I am.
Good.
Anyways, I had them second. The thing is, after watching the first week, I don't know. Watching Mallorca and Madrid, my Albanian brother, bro. I love him. Like, it made me kind of second doubt myself, but no, I think Barcelona they're missing some key players that they need. A lot of them, I don't even know when they're going to be back. De Jong, for example, I don't know when. Gavi's not back until like October, November, I think as well. We don't have a left winger. We got Dani Olmo. I can understand he's a great player, but he is injury prone. He's playing in a position where we already have so much depth. Even if you're not getting Nico, focus on a speedy winger or something like that instead of getting a Dani Olmo, who I still think is a great player. But they have a lot of youngsters as well. Like, we don't have like a real CDM. We're literally playing a 17-year-old. So I just don't think we have the depth necessary to push through for the league. I would love it if we do win it, but I don't think realistically this year we win it. With what I see from now, I really like it. I like what I'm seeing. It's very, very direct. It might not be like necessarily tiki-taka that we're used to. They break very fast on the counters, and it's thrilling to watch. Eris, where'd you have Barca?
I had them third, just behind Atleti.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Like you said, that Dani Olmo transfer just made no sense to me. Again, I don't want to speak too soon because you never know what if he pops off and we have to eat our words. But like, I feel like it's just a waste of money. I still don't understand what happened at the end of last season where they're begging Xavi to stay and then they kick his ass out and then they bring in Flick. It's so confusing. I don't understand what's going on at that club, which is why I have them in third.
Evie, you have him third?
I have them third as well. I just think Madrid, like both Atletico and Real Madrid, are just a better team. I also think the injuries will give them a bit of a slow start until they settle in. Again, if they got Nico on that left wing, then I could see them being more of like, the Spanish side, seeing some exciting football over there too with the offense. But yeah, you don't rate Lewandowski either, so.
Nah, he dropped off, bro. Like, this guy made a deal with the devil to be at that World Cup, and then when he came back, that brother was 50. Our best player is a 17-year-old, bro. Like, Mahan, you had them second, I presume. Like I said, I hope they do well. The thing is, like, I can see Hansi Flick surprising a lot of people. That's the thing. If I have a little bit of hope, it's literally because of Hansi Flick and Lamine Yamal. I'm just excited to see the youngsters and see how they're going to be integrated. Like Bernal, for example, our CDM. He's the main player that I want to see how he does this year. Any team that I didn't mention?
I had Betis in sixth. They're consistently been fifth to that seventh range. They haven't had any crazy massive fall off. So I feel like they're just gonna ride the wave and just be sixth again.
And Evie, who did you have?
Villarreal 6.
I like the shot for Villarreal.
Yeah.
You guys know Baena and Yermi Pino, like 2 players are really
Jeremy
great on that
Pino's
team.
a baller.
Last but not least, the Galacticos, who just tied to Mallorca.
Who just signed to Mallorca.
We all have them as first. Any specific players you guys want to mention? Mbappe.
I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
Like
Mbappe.
how do we think Mbappe is gonna do?
Who do you guys think is gonna be the lead, Vinny or Mbappe?
I think Vinny's gonna have a better season than Mbappe.
I think Vinny might have a better season just because Mbappe shouldn't be playing that striker role. He needs to be playing out left off of a proper striker.
Yeah,
that was one of the
that's the thing.
issues that he has with France. It's one of the issues he has with PSG. So I think if that is the case, I think Vinny will have a better season.
That's the thing, bro. Like Mr. J. Jasser, he was saying, "Yo, they have a stacked team or whatever," but it's honestly
But
like
they do.
They
I mean,
do.
lost
They do.
Cruz.
They lost Cruz. That's the thing. And Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo, all 3 of them prefer the left wing position. Like they've said this
Right,
before.
yeah.
That's the thing, right? At one point, I don't know if you guys watched the game. I'm telling you, there was 4 players. Jude, Vinny, Mbappe, and Rodrigo were all on the left wing. I'm not even joking. There's a photo of it. Like I can understand Ancelotti saying, "Yo, kind of like free for all. Do whatever you want to do." But like to a certain extent, after a while, like I said, you can't have 4 mans on left wing. They have a great team, and Barcelona haven't done much. So I do think that they don't play excellent football, though. That's the thing. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, they have a stacked team. They're gonna be winning every game 5-0 or 6 or whatever, like be scoring bare." And I don't think that's the case. And I think this is maybe a hot take, but I think Mbappe is gonna have maybe not the best first season. I feel like in the French league, he has a lot of space to run into. La Liga, there's a lot of haram ball here. Like you're going to play a Mallorca who had 10 men in the box. You're going to play a Getafe. It's going to be very congested. And Mbappe, if he's playing in the middle especially, and he doesn't even have that much space to run in the wing, I don't know, like Vinny in tight spaces as well, he's better than Mbappe in my opinion.
I agree
do
with
think
the
he's going to
central
have a good
part.
season.
I agree with you. You mean like if he's playing the central, it's gonna be tight. But the whole thing, even in Liga, though, like if you look at some of the stats and some of the teams, they're defending with respect to tackles and interceptions. Like a lot of Liga teams outperform a lot of teams in the top 5 leagues when it comes to that stuff. So they are defensively sound.
Yeah.
It's not like I know we banter them because Liga and ha ha ha, you know what I mean? But like if you actually look at some of the back lines there, they do perform really well. But I do agree with you. If he's playing out centrally, it's gonna be way too hard.
Realistically, in La Liga, you're going to be playing maybe like 3 or 4 teams that are going to be playing like high up, like press. You know what I mean? The other ones are going to be very, very congested in the back, and like, but especially when you're playing against Barcelona and Real Madrid, it's just the way that you're going to be playing overall. You're not going to go all out attacking. If they had Joselu, he would have been good at left wing, and then Joselu
I'll
as a striker.
Madrid. If anybody from Madrid is watching this podcast, I'll give you guys Colomwani and I'll pay you to take him.
Joselu's not there
You
no
guys can
more.
have him. Yeah, he left for
That brother went to Saudi. Yeah, he's chasing the money. I rate it though. Got a UCL, 2 goals against Bayern. He's like, I'm dipping.
Yeah, he called it.
I think that was a great analysis again. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Made me second guess now. Now I think Atletico might be first.
Top goal scorer.
So before watching game week 1, I had Mbappe on there. I am really regretting that, but I'm gonna stick by it because again, I don't want to change my predictions and cheat. So I'm gonna stick with it.
Evie?
I think I had Lewandowski just because like I think he's like the most pure striker in that league. So I can see him like getting a lot of goals there. Alvarez, second place. So
yeah, Julian Alvarez is definitely gonna be up there, I think.
Yeah, Man.
I have Alvarez. I just feel like he suits that team so well. Simeone is gonna love him. It's gonna be such a great partnership. Chemistry is gonna be really good.
I had Lewandowski this, even though I don't really rate him currently. It was just wishful thinking, like Hansi Flick, get those steroids in my brother. You know, like hopefully
Or not like Leon Goretzka, bro, where your hair's just falling out.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like hopefully he gets a great season out of him, and then he dips to Saudi as well or something like that. Top assister, who'd you guys have?
I think it's gonna be close between Yamal and Vinny.
Yeah. I literally had those 2. I went for Vinny end of the day, but
Nico also a great shout too.
Yeah.
I had Griezmann. I think with Julian Alvarez with Sorloth, I think he's gonna do really well.
I saw some links to LA though for him.
I hope he doesn't go. I hope he doesn't, bro. Like it's too early for him.
So there you guys have it. That was our predictions for the top 4 leagues. Like I said, we are going to be back to see at the end of the season who had the closest in terms of ranking and predictions. Let us know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, and from everyone from Footy Gents, me, Evie, Aris, Mahan, take it easy. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.